Welcome to another edition of Tank Reviews. Today I'm joined by my buddy Protomet, and we're finally covering Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue.
Yeah, we probably would have gotten this video out months ago if not for a certain somebody dragging their feet on getting the ball rolling on this.
Anyway, Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue is an anti-drug PSA from the early 90s that features a large cast of popular cartoon characters.
And Alf.
So, is this special any good? Let's find out.
One morning in a peaceful town, a young girl named Cory's piggy bank is stolen as she sleeps. From a comic book on the floor, Papa Smurf notices that the piggy bank is missing. Papa Smurf sounds an alarm to wake up the rest of the Smurf village so they can wake Cory. A picture of Elf comes to life and awakes a lamp of Garfield and threatens to eat the cat if he doesn't help, and the two head out to the hall. Hearing the commotion, Simon and Theodore drag Elvin out of the wrecker to join Elf and Garfield.
This is an anti-drug PSA, right?
So why does it seem like we're on some right now?
Cory's Winnie the Pooh plushie also comes to life and agrees to help the others wake Cory up. Pooh uses their Kermit the Frog alarm clock to finally rouse Cory, causing her to wonder why she set her alarm for a Saturday. Then Slimer shows up.
Wait. Where did Slimer come from? Everyone else in this scene makes sense, coming from stuff laying around this little girl's room. But then Slimer just shows up out of nowhere.
Dude, I think you're overthinking this.
Am I?
Possibly.
Am I?
I believe so.
Am I?
I don't know.
Am I?
I just give up.
Slimer eats a lamp and shines a spotlight on the missing piggy bank, alerting the girl to its disappearance.
The cartoons in the hallway hear a sound of a piggy bank being smashed and investigate the room of Cory's brother Michael. The cartoons hide under the bed as Michael comes out of the bathroom with the remains of the piggy bank, picking through it for loose change contained within.
Then Cory comes in and sees her broken bank. Michael claims it fell, but Cory isn't buying it and wonders what's in the box on his bed. He shoves the box under his bed, where the cartoons find it full of drug paraphernalia. Cory shows concern for her brother, who walks out on her to leave the house, as their mother asks him where he's going. The cartoons head out to do something about his addiction, leaving Pooh to look after Cory.
At the arcade, Michael meets up with his drug buddies and a character Wikipedia refers to as Smoke.
He certainly is.
His buddies and Smoke pressure Michael into trying crack, but everyone is scared off by the sound of a police siren. Michael runs into an alley and into a dead end where Smoke abandons him. Michael is then confronted by Bugs Bunny, and Smoke returns to tease the boy about running from a rabbit.
You were too.
After shoving Smoke into a garbage can, Bugs confronts Michael about a joint he found. Michael gets defensive over how he started doing drugs. Bugs pulls out a time machine.
Where did he get that?
Now who's overthinking?
Back at home, the father notices that a couple beers are missing, while Mother speculates he drank some himself. After Father goes out to the garage, Mother asks Cory if she knows why Michael has been acting strange, and she feigns ignorance. Then Pooh asks Cory why she didn't tell her mother, and Cory is understandably shocked her doll is talking to her.
Wait, I thought Michael was the one doing the drugs.
Back with Michael, they travel back in time, which is in black and white because of reasons. Turns out this was the day Michael was offered his first joint, and teen Michael admits that he didn't want to seem like a wimp. Bugs makes the obligatory cliff jumping analogy. Smoke claims he makes Michael feel good, but Bugs informs him that the high is only temporary. Cory tries to ask her dad about Michael, but he confuses Michael's being weird for puberty.
Suddenly, Michael's in the park with his friends, smoking.
What happened to Bugs in the time machine?
Michael's friends pressure him into giving them money for crack. Then Smoke steals his wallet and tosses it to the girl.
So is she able to see Smoke? And if not, why isn't she freaking out about the flying wallet?
Drugs, man. Not even once.
Michael chases after her and ends up falling down a manhole into the sewers, where Michelangelo is there to give Michael a talk about drugs affecting his attention.
I don't care how high you are. I think it's time to stop once you meet a talking bipedal turtle that knows martial arts, but that's just me.
Michelangelo pulls the plug in the sewer, causing Michael to land in a roller coaster car with Kermit and Miss Piggy. The two take Michael on a bizarre trip through a drug-addicted brain, including Gonzo showing up and joining them. The whole trip is a message about the body gaining a tolerance to drugs, making each high more temporary than the previous.
Then they wind up inside Michael's own brain as he crashes on his skateboard as a result of drugs. Michael wakes up in the park after the accident and finds Huey, Dewey, and Louie there. Smoke tries to tempt the ducks, but they and the other cartoons sing a musical number about all the different ways to say no to drugs.
I think I'm freaking out, man.
You are freaking out, man.
Then Michael wakes up at home. Corey asks her brother why he don't talk to mom and dad. Michael rejects her and she just wants things to be like before. Michael threatens his sister so she doesn't tell her parents, hurting the girl. He suddenly realizes what he's done as Corey runs off.
Well, at least he realized he was being a jerk and let his sister go.
Smoke tries to convince him that everything's fine when Alf appears and pulls Michael into his own drug box, leaving Smoke behind. Alf takes him to a hall of funhouse mirrors, showing him a ghoulish version of himself as a drug addict. Michael claims that he can quit whenever he wants, but Alf informs him that that's not the case with drugs. Alf takes him to the office of the man in charge, which turns out to be Smoke.
Corey comes back into Michael's room and finds him missing. When she finds his box, Smokes appears to tempt her to open it. Pooh tries to warn Corey about it, ends up being tossed into a cabinet. Corey opens up the box of drug paraphernalia and Smoke tempts her into trying it.
Now the next part is trippy.
Michael is trapped on a roller coaster, surrounded by the eerie voice of Smoke. Michael soon finds himself running from a cart and jumping from the coaster tracks. He then clings to a metal ring that saves him from a buzzsaw and is flung into the mouth of a demon. After falling into water, Tigger gives him a raft and he rushes down rapids. A large metal ball knocks him away and into a glass jar. Then he finds himself in a tub of water and gets poured on. Then he finds himself going down another drain and is sucked up into Piggy's mouth. After being spit out, Michael finds his way to a fortune teller, played by Daffy Duck. However, Daffy starts using a bowling ball instead of a crystal ball.
Smoke claims that Michael uses drugs, and Corey thinks that if she uses some, she and Michael could be friends again. Back at the fortune teller tent, Michael informs Daffy that he used a bowling ball. Using a crystal ball, Daffy shows Michael a ghoulish glimpse of his future self after a lot of drugs. The cartoons show up to deliver one more anti-drug message.
I'll stop doing drugs if you just all go away!
Michael flees through a door and sees his sister about to do drugs and stops her. When Corey claims he does it, Michael admits to his terrible mistake. Corey tells him to stop, but Michael also admits that he doesn't know if he can stop. Smoke tries to tempt Michael once more, but Corey promises that she and their parents will help him.
I think we all need a little help today.
Michael is finally fed up with Smoke and tosses him out with the garbage. Michael knows that he'll be back, but Corey and a poster of the cartoons assure him that they'll be ready if he does. Michael lets Pooh out of the cabinet and joins his friends in the poster. Then Michael and Corey decide to talk to their parents.
That was Cartoon All-Stars to the rescue. A good, but kinda confusing little video.
If the intention was to replicate a bad trip, well then mission accomplished.
It's a good thing you don't do drugs, because drugs will ruin your life.
But on the topic of drugs, since this creation of this PSA, marijuana, one of the drugs specifically mentioned in this video, has been discovered to have positive medical properties for treating certain conditions.
There was even a movement to legalize marijuana, and that's gaining traction.
turns out it's not quite as bad as this PSA made it out to be.
How'd they get so many cartoon characters to appear in this anyway? It had to be a mess to deal with all the legal and whatnot.
Well, the fact that there was a public service project, the companies actually let their characters be used free of charge.
Interesting. Well, it's time to bring another episode of Tank Reviews to an end. I would like to thank my friend Protomet for helping me with this video.
Anytime, Tank. It was fun. We should do it more often. If only we could get together and review something together once a month or something like that.
But Protomet, we do that already on our other channel, Gamma Zilong. By the way, you edit all those videos anyway.
You'd think I would have noticed at that point.
Are you sure you're not on drugs?
After watching this anti-drug PSA, I'm not much sure about anything.
Well, see ya, folks.